Hi homesteaders, my name is Melissa with Gullion Homestead and welcome to my channel where we focus on homesteading skills, self-sufficiency, and resilience. Today we are in my grow room and we are going to look at my seedlings and where we're at. We started our seedlings in February, probably the last week of February, and I probably started them too soon because they no longer fit into my grow station. I had to move them out into our winery area, which I'll show you here shortly. But let's take a peek at my seedlings so you can see where we are at. Here we are, and this is my grow station that was used to be a computer cabinet for an office that Steve actually put shelves and lights in for me to grow my own seedlings. And this is what we have left here. So we started our seedlings back in February. It is getting on close to the end of April. And we have these I just replanted last night from my seedling trays. I normally start them in trays like this. I do some soil blocking and start with my seeds. And then as they get bigger, then I replant them in these little containers here that I just buy off of Amazon. And they're great because they come with little stickers you can put on the side so you can label your stuff. But like, I didn't label this. This is my chamomile. I replanted. I actually started this in an egg carton and then I repotted these, and I'm hoping these are going to get nice and strong. I've heard that they're really easy to transplant regardless. They were pretty easily to transplant even though they were really dainty. Let me show you guys how, like, they're just super tiny, as you can see. But I'm hoping that they're going to get really good and strong in the next 3 to 4 weeks before we put them in the ground, because we put everything in the ground. Typically, the weekend of Mother's Day is when I plant my garden. That's what I've done for years. We're in zones 6B, and so normally we are past the frost date by that time, but not always. So we've had that issue in the past. These are my sweet potato slips. These are probably going to get much stronger. We're not planning on putting these into the ground until the garlic comes out, which will probably be sometime in July is what I'm thinking. If it's sooner, that would be great too, but I want to make sure that the garlic is nice and strong before we put that in. We got some more sweet potatoes down here and some peppers. And then these are just some flowers that I've started because I want to do more flowers in my yard this year. So I have some fresh cut flowers in the house. I'm excited about that. And then we've just got, oh, this right here is, I believe that is my cauliflower. This is my spaghetti squash, and it is going quite well. We've got cauliflower and spaghetti squash down here. We've got some watermelon and cantaloupe out in the winery area. And then we've got some more stuff right here. So this is my grow garden, grow area. It actually is awesome for plant starting. It is something I'm considering this winter, actually growing herbs out here. I've never done indoor herbs in the winter, but I think I'm going to do some basil, rosemary, and maybe some thyme out here, maybe even some cilantro if I can get that to take, so that we have fresh herbs in the winter. So looking at possibly doing that this winter, and we'll share some more with you on that. But we can fit a lot. We can fit 3 trays on each shelf, and I've got 5, so I can do 15 trays, which is really a lot of plants. So it's great. We also have my husband put a plug in here so that I can like do heat mats and all that kind of thing. So we have a really good setup right here for growing plants indoors. Okay, I've not shared a lot about our winery on here, but we actually started a winery 2 years ago, and part of our homesteading business, or our homesteading channel, is going to be connected to our Gullion Winery channel as also when we start doing more with that. So we're still pretty new at winemaking, but in my winery right now, we have a winery on our premises, and it's just a production area, but I have my dehydrator out here and some wine supplies, but I ran out of room for my plants in my plant station because these plants were so tall. So we moved one of our grow lights out here. We just did that yesterday, and I threw a bunch of my really tall plants out here so that those could continue to grow. But I want to share with you how insane some of these plants are. They are the best plants I've ever grown inside, And I think it might have to do with the fact that I used a seedling mixture this year, and not before. I just really used whatever I had. Like if I had potting soil or whatever, I would just use whatever. But I specifically went with the seedling mixture this year, um, thinking that maybe, I mean, I just wanted to try it to see, and it has really made these plants grow like fabulous. So let's just talk about, I am growing San Marzanos this year. It's the very first year I've ever done a San Marzano tomato. I'm very excited about it. We have, oh gosh, I think I'm going to have 7 or 8 San Marzanos. I think I have 10, but I'm only going to put 7 or 8 out there. I think we were going to do maybe, I think it was 7 San Marzanos and then 1 Black Krim. I have 10 altogether, so it really just depends. We have that string trellis that we're going to be doing this year, so it really depends on what we get, what we have room for out in the garden. But I started these, so been going like 8 weeks is all they've been going. This tomato plant right here is insane. I mean, it is at least, I would say at least 2 feet, maybe even 2.5 feet. It is very tall. It's very tall, and it's not my only one. I have, here's my other San Marzano. I mean, they're so big that they're starting to lose, like they need to be supported. So I'm probably going to have to get something out here to support some of these because they're way too big, or I'm going to have to get a bigger pot to put in them just until, because we have another 4 weeks before we put these in the ground. But the other thing that's real exciting about out here is I found that I have a bud on this flower right here, and those are zinnias that I'm getting ready to put in this year for the very first time ever. And then I've got pepper plants that actually have little peppers on them already. So we're excited about what our gardening year is going to look like. I have grown most of my plants are, I don't think I'm going to buy any. The only thing so far that I think I'm going to have to buy is peppermint, which I probably should have planted that, but I didn't, and rosemary. And I tried to plant rosemary seeds and they just did not take off at all. My basil, my cilantro, and my sage did pretty well. I just repotted those last night, but the rosemary was kind of a deadbeat for me. So I'm going to buy some rosemary. I'm either going to buy rosemary plants, or I might consider just buying some rosemary at the grocery store and trying to propagate it myself. That might be something I do. I'm going to look at that to see if that might be a cheaper option. But we always have rosemary. Every year I have rosemary in the garden, so I have to have that. And I need peppermint also for tea. So everything else we have grown from seed. It is way cheaper to grow your food this way. It's way cheaper to grow your plants this way. But then also we are growing enough, again, just a reminder, we're growing enough so that we have food to preserve for a year. And so that's why we need so many tomato plants. We have 14 pepper plants. We've got, we only have 2 watermelon, 2 cantaloupe, 2 squash, and 2 loofah plants, but that's going to be plenty for Steve and I for a year. It might even be enough for 2 years. So anyway, this is our winery/garden grow station area right now. Okay guys, it is evening time and I'm out near my herb garden and my tea garden, and what we have right here is bee balm and lemon balm, and that is coming along fabulously. I've grown lemon balm or bee balm before. It is super easy, it multiplies very quickly, and it's great for teas. You can actually either dry it by hanging it to dry, or you can put it in dehydrator and dry it and use it for tea throughout the year. The lemon balm it smells like a fresh lemon. I'm loving that, which brings me to another point. I ordered a lemon tree, and we are going to grow a Meyer lemon tree inside our home. I'm going to start that here pretty soon. It's coming in another week or so, and then we are going to be working on trying to get some Meyer lemons so that we have lemons year round. And I will be doing some preserving and cooking with those, so I will show you that in the next year, because it's probably going to take a while for that to take off. But this is so far our garden this year. It's April, it's coming up, it looks fabulous. Some of these plants back here are at least a foot tall, and we are going to extend that into more tea, putting chamomile and some peppermint teas and some herbs going around near where the fire pit is this year. So we've got some good things that are coming in the herb garden this year. Okay, and here we are in my garlic garden. The garlic is doing fabulous this year. We planted the garlic in October. I've talked a little bit about our garlic garden. We have about 74, 76 garlics in here. I've got two different varieties. They're both long-term or long storage varieties, and one is spicier than the other. I bought them online, and we are excited to what that is going to be like. You can see these garlic, I mean, they're huge for April. I mean, they're enormous. So my plan is they're going to come out July 1st or so. I'm hoping that they'll be out by then. And the sweet potato slips are going to go in this garden. And then once sweet potatoes come out in the fall, we will replant garlic for next year. And we'll have garlic really from here on out. So I'm excited about that as well. So now I'm going to show you, if you can see, and this is my trellis. It's kind of hard to see my arch trellis. The arch trellis right there is going to house green beans and wax beans this year. We just put that up a little while ago, and this is our first time for that. We're connecting two gardens with an arch trellis, and we're doing as much vertical gardening as we can this year. And then before we move on, or before we quit our video today, I wanted to show you my onions. I have 125 onions that are planted. These are my onions. I divided them into red onions and white onions. They're storage onions that we have purchased so that they will last 9 months. 9 to 12 months is what they say. They've been tested to last if it's cured correctly. So we will be doing some videos on the process of our onion growing and how that develops, as long as I can keep the dog out of the garden, and how to cure, and then how to preserve that for the winter. So thanks for joining us today. We hope you're having the best day. Please like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our content. Bye.